majors are not banana cups. If you ask a player would they rather win Cologne or a major, no one will ever say Cologne unless Cologne is a major, and that's because of the prestige. If the play is going to be iconic, you got to start in playoffs. The crowd on the crowd mics, the call has to be so good from the casters just to complement that play perfectly. Just the right amount of surprise and awe, and the reaction, just the raw reaction of the room. So I think it's just about the audience. For me, my favorite major final was the Astralis versus Virtus Pro. And this was right when Astralis had picked up Glaive. This was very interesting because Kerrigan was a much more revered IGL. But the one thing Glaive brought to that major and to Astralis was he solved their choking issue. He made a series of calls on that T-side comeback on Train, and it was a bunch of very aggressive confidence plays at a moment where if they lost the next round, they probably would have just lost the entire series and lost the major. And that was the first of the 4 majors that they won. At a major where there's the most pressure, Glaive was the best option. And I think that was a really key point for both Astralis and honestly Denmark as a whole. When you look at FaZe at Boston, one of the most iconic images was Nico blown up on the Jumbotron. As hard as that might be for him to think about or go back and watch, that's one of the things you remember the most. Stewie being the guy who was the player that made Cloud9 into a winning team and made Cloud9 into a team that was top 6 that year. So the best sort of NA team that we'd seen in forever. And then for him to have the clutch moment to bring the team to overtime, it's not about the skill anymore, it's about who's good under pressure, and Stewie was that for Cloud9. I think that one will be forever iconic for me. I would never want to have to go through what FaZe went through at Boston. But in terms of how much emotion came out of that, it's sort of irreplaceable as a moment in history.